Everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and we have, I don't even know how to describe this legendary. We're gonna take a look at the Jailer. It's ridiculous. It's possibly a game changer, or it might be just dust, but it is just a ridiculous card in both Standard and Wild. We'll talk about that. Sylvanas is back as well, and we have another neutral card to go over. So 3 cards to review, and if you want to win golden versions of these cards, we have a giveaway going on for 4 golden mini sets out of my pocket to celebrate 58,000 subscribers. All you have to do is like and comment on the video in the description below, the one we're looking at right now, and subscribe to the channel, and well, you have a chance to enter and win some golden cards. And well, what are some of these golden cards? Well, let's take a look, starting off with Sylvanas the Accused. Sylvanas is back, and she is better than ever. Definitely better than the original version. The original one back in like classic basic was a 6-mana 5/5. It had a death rattle, and it would steal a random enemy minion. And here we have, I'll move my stupid face over here. We have Sylvanas the Accused. Battle Cry, destroy an enemy minion. So it's a 1 more mana expensive Vilespine Slayer that doesn't need to be combo enabled. It kills something. That's decent, especially for classes like Druid that lack hard removal. It can be very good, and it can be run in, like any class can run this. However, if you infuse 7, so you're going to be wanting to run a good amount of minions to get this fully infused, you take control of it instead. It's like mind control on a stick. If you have Bran up, you'll steal a minion and then randomly steal the other one. So it's not a random card, but Control Shaman with like their Piranha Swarmers and all that, I could see this really going well there. You could play the Macaw and steal more minions. I think this is just a solid card in multiple decks. It's neutral, it's a good hard removal, and it can be game winning depending on the swing if you outright steal something. And we're seeing cards like Insatiable Devourer see play in multiple decks. I've seen it Hunter, Shaman, and I think Druid as well. I think this is a card that will sneak into multiple decks. I think it's very good. I don't know about Wild. Wild, it's a bit slow. And, you know, Wild's all about, for me, about Wild, it's like, does it OTK you, or does it, you know, hyper aggro stuff? That's like, it's combo, aggro, or disruption was what you're going for. And this doesn't really accomplish that. So I feel like for Wild, this probably doesn't see a lot of play, but in Standard, this card seems extremely solid. And I will give it a 4 out of 5 in Standard. I think this sees play in multiple decks. You don't have to have the infuse go off for this to be good. You don't have to. A 6-mana Vilespine is pretty darn good with decent stats, not great, but the upside on top of it can be like just game winning, soul crushing, really good. And I'm just glad Sylvanas is back, and I'm excited to see a golden, and hopefully you guys can win one as well. So yeah, we have Sylvanas, and we'll just get to the card that's just like what the hell? The Jailer. It is a 10 mana, 10/10, neutral legendary, battle cry. You destroy your deck. Your deck is gone. It's removed. For the rest of the game, your minions are immune. In Wild, a Mal'Ganis is pretty darn good with being immune and giving your, you know, you're not taking damage from fatigue and all of that. Both a Ram Shield won't take damage. Both Ram Shield, meta card in Wild, I don't know, but you also have Mecha'thun synergies in. I'm gonna just talk about Wild, I guess, but yeah, Mecha'thun synergies, right, where you delete your deck with the Jailer and then, you know, Cataclysm with Mecha'thun and all of that. But in regards, there's so many things this card can enable in Standard. Let's talk about Standard, where there's a card that's not existed in Wild, the Demon Seed. This could be a Demon Seed enabler. Like, you play this and your Demon Seed reward or whatever is going on, all that fatigue damage kills your opponent. You have a crazy board. You also just have, like, maybe I play this and then play Kazakhstan, fill my deck, play this and Ignite, fill my deck with burn spells. There are so many different implications for this card. You have Tome Tampering, which doesn't really work very well in Standard yet, but in Wild, we have Malchezaar's Tome Tampering. You can get this for 1 mana and just do Baroque stuff. I don't know if this card is good. It's a 10 mana 10/10. The ways to cheat it out are like, yeah, Tome Tampering. I mean, Ramp Druid and Guff can always enable stuff like that, but then you kind of need to fill your deck, right? Because you're playing this, it has no immediate effect other than making the minions you have on board immune. But still, there's so many implications. It's such a crazy over-the-top card. Core already tweeted out that it probably has her favorite like introduction animation ever. It's like ridiculous, over the top, so I'm excited to see that. And you can't exactly silence the immunity, right? They try and you have a bunch of immune minions. This is an aura effect. It's not like the minions themselves don't have immunity and all that. And it is important to note that if you have a full board or whatever, you have immune minions, they can't be targeted by spells. If you have a taunt, they can ignore it. So taunt doesn't work, but basically the only way to kill stuff will be like Twisting Nether, Whirlpool, or like Plague of Flames. And while there's very few ways, Brawl can kill all but one minion, there's very few ways to actually kill the minions. So this gets, if you play this and you can survive the fatigue or figure out a way to do that, and you have minions on board, it's going to be like just GG, but it's a 10 drop. So again, I'm rambling a bit on this card because it's just so crazy. It's so over the top, and I don't know how to rate it. I can't give it a 5 because I don't think it's a 5, but I think the implications of this card and what it can do and what it can lead to, I have to give it a playable mark. I'm going to give it a 4 to 5 in standard, and I think in wild, there's even more implications for it to be broken. I mean, all the examples I brought up, and there's going to be more that I'm not even thinking of day one, just seeing this. I'm going to give it a 4 to 5 in wild too. I think this gets abused. Hell, this could be a card that could get banned if the right combination of things are found to just abuse it, because this is a type of card that if it's good, it's going to be loathed very quickly because it just creates like this hopelessness of it. It's going to be very polarizing, these type of cards, but at the end of the day, I'm not sold on it being like this over-the-top good card, but it's crazy. It's ridiculous, and it possibly is a game changer. And yeah, so I'm going to give it a 4 to 5 in both formats. Let's go for it. Why not? And we have one more card to take a look at, so let's do that right now. Turns out I was wrong. There's 3 new neutral cards. The post looked like it was 1. It's 3, and there's some crazy stuff going on here. So first, we have 5 mana 3/3 Soul Seeker. You swap this with a random minion from your opponent's deck. That is Battlecry. Swap this with, so this is like the weirdest disruption ever. You play this and you get whatever minion from their opponent's deck. If they're playing a big deck that's good, I guess you steal a giant minion. If you steal a little garbage minion that's terrible, this is like the weirdest kind of disruption we've seen yet. It's very meta dependent on large minions and all of that. I don't see this as being particularly strong, but it's a pretty interesting and cool card. I wonder how it would work with Bran. I don't think you could swap it twice. I have no idea how that would work. But to me, this is more of a fringe kind of fun card that might disrupt your opponent and lead to some high rolls or some weird shenanigans. But it's just, and yeah, you're putting a bad card into their deck as well. And you could possibly like disrupt synergies depending on what their deck is doing. And what a weird one. What an absolutely weird one. I'm going to give it 2 out of 5 in standard and wild. I think it's pretty cool, but I just, again, I like, why are you playing this in your deck? I'm not entirely sure. We have a secret hate card for secrets that aren't really in the game right now, but this is the epic of the mini set. So this is the only epic, and it's neutral this time around. Typically it's been, oh, actually we had Mattis Bomber that was neutral. The last one was like the Paladin legendary, like to the front lines or whatever. The 9 mana spell, it's pretty bad. But anyways, Tight-Lipped Witness, 3 mana 2/5, secrets can't be revealed. So this is a constant effect as long as this is on the board. Secrets can't go off. Is that good in standard? Not at all right now. Secrets are relevant unless we see some really incredible secret support. I predicted secret support. I didn't really predict anti-secret stuff. Interestingly though, this does work for Ice Block, right? You play this and you hit your opponent, the Ice Block won't go off. So if you really hate Ice Block in wild, it is yet another disruption option and probably the cheapest one out there. All the other ones are 4 or more. So if you're looking for that idea or just facing Secret Mage and being annoyed by it, this can be good. This has probably more validity right now in Wild than Standard, but still probably no real validity. I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5. Actually, I'm going to give it a 1 out of 5 in Standard because, like, you're never playing this if secrets aren't meta. So for right now, I'm just saying this is, like, unplayable epic. But in Wild, I'll give it a 2, maybe a 3 for that fringe, like, you know, Disruption Part 2 beat up on secrets. And the last card here, I will move my face yet again. We have Afterlife Attendant. 3 mana, 3/4. You infuse your infused cards, also infuse while in your deck. This is not a battle cry, so this is an active effect. If this is on the board and other minions die, you get infuses to your infused minions everywhere, rather than just in your hand. Is that good? Not really. You're playing a spider tank, which is fine. I gotta look at the stats. Are there more 3 mana 3/4s in the game than any other stat line right now? I think there might be. I'm gonna go crunch some numbers after this video, but it's a decent little interesting card. It's probably better in Arena, where card draw is more limited and like infused cards are really good there, and you can just pump it anywhere. It's helpful with a card like Sylvanas that's infused 7 that you really want to infuse, or Denathrius to pump that more. But at the end of the day, you're playing this and it might get 1 proc and that's it, and it's just a 3/4. And once it's dead, the effect goes away, so it's not like a game winning, like it's not like a constant snowball thing. So overall, probably not going to see play. It's probably like a 1 out of 5 in Standard or Wild, but there's some utility to it, and I think it has some validity in Wild. So here you go, a bunch of new cards. There'll be a bunch more tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. We'll review them all. I'll try and do it in one video, not try and make it too much, but again, no regular video tomorrow. We're going to keep on the card reviews. It's just so freaking fun, and I'm always so horribly wrong. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day, and stay salty, my friends.